like and subscribe. In 1976, hospital orderly Alan Showery from Chicago, without permission, entered the apartment of colleague Teresita Bassa. Probably, the guy wanted to rob the young lady's home, but when he saw the mistress of the house, Alan had to stab and burn her so that the woman would not tell anything. A year later, Remy Chua, another medical colleague, began to see Teresita's corpse wandering the corridors of the hospital. It would be half the trouble if this ghost just staggered. So it moved into poor Remy, began to control her like a puppet, speak in the voice of Teresita, and told the cops about everything that had happened. The police, relatives of the deceased, and Remy's family were shocked by what was happening. But the killer was still split, and they put him behind bars. We are talking about the murder of the DeFeo family in the town of Amityville in one of the districts of the state of New York.
On November 13, 1974, the eldest offspring of the family, 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo, reported that, upon returning home from work, he found all the household members dead.
Father, mother, 2 sisters, and 2 DeFeo brothers were indeed found shot to death in their beds. The police immediately decided that this was the work of the Italian mafia, with which the head of the family had long-standing ties. But 2 days later, the investigator, when examining the room, Ronaldo found a rifle box, which was the murder weapon. Under pressure from the police, the young man began to get confused in his testimony, gave 2 failed versions, but soon nevertheless admitted his guilt, saying that he drowned the rifle, shells, and blood-stained clothes in the sewer. Later, the investigation found out that life in the DeFeo house was not sugar. The father of many children kept beating his wife, tyrannizing the children. The boy grew up aggressive, with a broken psyche, and at the same time, wealthy parents did not refuse him cash and expensive gifts. At the age of 17, Ronald left school and began to trade in petty theft and robbery, got hooked on drugs and alcohol. Sometime before the murder, the guy completely robbed his father for a large amount, simulating a robbery along with his friends. The trial of Ronald DeFeo took place almost a year later in October 1975. The lawyer built his defense on the version of the insanity of his client. Allegedly, the young man heard voices in his head for 28 days ordering him to kill his relatives. However, experts recognized DeFeo as sane, and the judge determined for him 150 years in prison, 6 terms of 25 years. Let's start with the fact that the boy's name was Alex. One time he was walking home from a guitar lesson, which was from 18 to 1900 hours, so he would come back late on foot because his parents were at work. He walked through the yards because it was faster, so he walked like this. He reached a street and suddenly someone attacked him and knocked him out with something flat. When Alex woke up, he found that he was bound hand and foot and his mouth was also sealed. He was lying in a dark room and did not see anything. But when his eyes got used to the semi-darkness, he saw a table and some kind of closet. Then the door opened, the uncle came in, turned on the light. Alex almost vomited from what he saw. He was lying in the room where there was a table and a refrigerator, but then Alex saw that there was a knife, an axe, a file, and other tools on the table. But what struck him most of all was that all the room was covered in blood. The man took a knife and cut the ropes and removed the adhesive tape from his mouth. Then he took off the boy's shoes and cut off one finger. Alex was patient with pain, so he didn't yell like everyone else, but simply said the dude didn't like it, and he, waving a knife, stuck a knife in his leg and pierced it through. Now Alex could not restrain himself and squealed. The uncle laughed and pulled out a knife, put it on the table and left. Don't forget like and subscribe.